Ladies and gentlemen, we now have an Iscf solo, bigger than life, reaching new frontiers for retail development through entertainment. And we'd like to share the experience of Carnival cinema, a journey from 3 screens to over 300 screens, their vision for 1,000 screens and entertainment zones, and of course their vision for 2030. Please put your hands together and welcome Mr. P.V. Sunil, Director and Chief Executive Officer, Carnival Cinemas.
So selfie lele. In fact, some years back, the biggest manufacturer of cameras Kodak would not have ever dreamt of a word called selfie. They have closed down most of their production units in the world. Except for some professional photography today, camera means mobile. Even in the mobiles, the competition is amongst how much pixels it can create. Of course, the change is inevitable. Once I read the change is like a train. You are standing on the platform, you are standing on the track, and the train is coming, change is coming. You have 3 choices. One, to resist the change, you will be blown away. Another is to move aside and watch the change happening. You will be left behind. Or to board the train, you will reach new frontiers. New frontier for retail development through entertainment. Good morning to all of you. My sincere thanks to Mr. Amitabh Taneja, whom I have not met yet, and India Shopping Center Forum for giving me an opportunity to speak on today at this forum on this subject which I am not so good at. Sorry for that, but I have a formula. Rather, Carnival Cinemas, which is the largest multiplex chain in the country in terms of number of cities we operate, has a mission, has a program. And today I would like to share the thought process behind this program to all of you. You are the domain masters of your field, and I will seek your advice or maybe your participation if you feel so. We just heard a part of the song from a movie called Bajrangi Bhaijaan, which was the most super hit movie of 2015. The biggest Bollywood hit movie of 2015 was Bajrangi Bhaijaan, with a whopping 320 crore theatrical collections. We are into exhibition industry, so we are very happy because we are part of this collection. It was one of the good time we had last year. But when I analyzed this feature in a slightly different way, I got shocked. In fact, the rest of my talk is based on this shock. What happened? We were looking at how many people in the country watched the most super hit movie of last year. So we are looking at how many people really watched. Can anybody imagine how many people watched this movie last year? Hope it's an interactive session, though I cannot see most of you. Not less 3.2 crore people watched this movie. It's a big number. 32 million people watched this movie going into theaters. But the shocking side was that it is only 2.5% of our population. India is known for its population. The biggest movie is watched just by 2.5% of the population in the theaters. Something has to be wrong. Something must be wrong. This is a nation, hero-worshipping nation. Also, movie is a religion for most of the parts of the country. So this number is quite negligible. This is what I felt. I am sure that you will also agree that this is a negligible number for such a business. Producers made a lot of money because it's a 300 crore club the only Bollywood movie which crossed 300 crore last year. So what happens? Why so many people are not watching the movie? What happened to those 97.5% of the population? That was the interesting part. Imagine if just double the number, that is 5% of the population watched this movie, what will happen? The producer would have got 600 crores. In fact, the business of the industry would have got doubled. Rockline Venkatesh, who is one of my friends, was one of the producers of the movie, probably would have become double rich, I suppose. We heard a part of the song from the recent movie Fan. Imagine if just 5% of the population watched this movie, what will happen? The movie would have become at least a break even. Personally, I like the movie a lot. In fact, Shah Rukh Khan's acting as the Fan is mind-boggling. But probably people were looking at something else. Even then, if more people would have watched, this movie also would have become a break even. So there is something missing, which I was trying to analyze. So let's look at some facts. What happens to the rest of the people who are not watching this movie in the theaters? It is not a very authenticated study, but it's my small study saying that some percentage of people don't want to watch movie in the theaters. That is okay, nothing can be done. Some of the people want to watch in a very luxurious atmosphere which is not available for them, so they don't watch in the theaters. Some percentage is interested in watching it in the TV. In fact, when this movie came into the TV, probably they would have watched. But a large chunk of people could not watch their superheroes in action because they had no access to screens. It's probably unbelievable for people in Mumbai. 50% of the rest of the population had no access to screens to watch their heroes playing. That's quite a big number, which only says that there is probably huge potential lying in all these places. There is a big potential. Now, where is this potential? Who are these people? They are the so-called Tier 2, Tier 3, Tier 4 cities. ASSOCHAM 2012 report says that Indian retail industry is moving to Tier 2 cities like Cochin, Nagpur, etc. Today, Cochin has one of the largest malls in the country, Lulu Mall. So, we don't know whether the definition of Tier 2, Tier 3 is also changing. You never know where are these people now. In fact, in 2012, we did an experiment. Carnival Cinemas, we set up our first world-class multiplex of 3 screens in a small town called Angamali near Cochin Airport. It was an experiment. There were many objections as usual. People had a lot of objections. One of the main objections was saying that around this property there are 11 liquor shops. And most of the people in the evening in Kerala are drunk, which is a fact. So people or families do not come out of the house after 7 o'clock, which is also a fact. But we thought of doing experiment. What will happen? And we opened this facility. In 6 months of the time, we could see families, ladies and children coming out of the complex after watching the movie at 1:30 in the night. So you can bring changes. Rather, people are waiting to change. You have to just be a medium. So we tasted success in that formula. So we thought of replicating it in different cities and towns. It was a pleasant information that one of the small cities, we could get an average ticket price of 140 rupees. I mean, those in the industry will know that it's a good price, very good price. So they say, never underestimate the power of a common man. So it's a phenomenon. So we thought, why not? There is huge potential. Only thing we need to have the right way of doing it. So we got into the multiplex industry of the country. Soon we realized that to be noticeable, you have to be in the big metros and cities. So we wanted to be present in big metros. We found that there are no infrastructure. Nothing is coming up. No more in-orbit coming up here. So what to do? So we had to acquire a company with a brand name called Broadway of 30 screens, where we had presence in Mumbai, Delhi, Calcutta, Indore, etc. Then again we realized one more thing, to have a decent life in this industry. This industry is of distributors, that's what we say. So to have a decent life in this world of distributors, we must have more number of screens. You must have plenty of screens, then only you can survive. So we had to further acquire one more chain called Glitz from Network 18, and we did the bigger acquisition of big cinemas of Reliance of 252 screens. So we felt we are pretty comfortable. We have almost 350 screens. Now we can do what we want. Some of the facts of the industry: theatrical collection, domestic theatrical collection is going to be 158 billion Indian rupees in 2018. Huge business. India produces, of course, you know, the maximum number of movies in the world, which is another irony. 1,500 movies we create. But the screen density in the country, the survey shows that is very less comparable to other countries. We have a habit of comparing everything with China. So if you compare with China, 2015 is not there, but in 15, we have around 2,000 multiplex screens, and China has around 25,000 multiplex screens. So the gap is very, very high. Definitely something can be done. This was the idea. Now, we are into the screen business. Sorry, we are not in that retail, probably you are listening to some other story. But in the screen business, we wanted to grow further. We wanted to keep big vision. So in the vision, it has to be a number of screens, has to be part of the vision. So what is a good number, we don't know. But our guy who makes the logos, he could make one easily one number, 1,000. So we got 1,000 screens as our vision. And, okay, there's one more slide, sorry. I am from South, so I wanted to show this, that Bollywood is not Indian movie industry. South India makes 50% of the movies in the country. Contrary to the belief that India has Bollywood as the main industry, and the numbers show that 50% of the movies are made in South India. Okay, this was our movement to 300 screens from 3 in a matter of 3 years. So all happened to be 3. So when we kept our vision of 1,000, the logo manufacturer also was finding it very easy to make 5 also, 5,000, 1 to 5. So we made 2 logos, 1,000 and 5,000. So we put it as short-term goal and long-term goal. So we have 2 goals to achieve. Though the logo manufacturer found it very easy to create this, I am sure it is impossible to do looking at the number of malls and shopping complexes coming in the country in the right spaces. I hope you agree to this. You are supposed to make all these make all these malls. So why to create a vision which is impossible? Everybody knows it is impossible. So why to create it? But then having created, we should do something for it. So we had a lot of brainstorming how to go ahead, how to really do this. So we finally found out a formula. This is the formula I wanted to share with you. We have established that there is a lot of space in the country, at least for the screens. I am sure, dead sure, that there is enough space for retail also. Of course, the movie is also retail. I am dead sure there is enough space for everything in this country. I could not believe yesterday's World Bank report saying that 1 billion people in the country has no internet. And I am no one to disbelieve World Bank report. So let me believe. There is so much open space for everybody. Where are these people? Where are they? Who are they? This is what now our game is going to be. 50% of Indian population, you know that, is below 30 years of age. 65% of population is below 35 years of age. Naturally, the main target is youth. And where are they? They are everywhere, of course. They are always everywhere. They are in any tier of cities, any tier 2, tier 3, whichever tier we can call now, they are there. But how do we reach them? Those tier 2 cities are no more tier 2s. Some maybe they are tier 1 or tier 1.5, whatever it is. Now the definitions are changing. We need to go deeper and deeper and deeper. That's where the challenge is. We need to reach these people is going to be the challenge. What is the challenge? Infrastructure, the so-called malls and shopping complex, where multiplexes, retail and all those things happen, is the biggest challenge of today to reach deeper and deeper in the country. Why don't you all make it quickly? We don't know, so we can reach our vision. So this happened to be a big challenge. We have been traveling length and breadth of the country. We could not find much things happening in the most of deeper places. We have seen people traveling 150 kilometers to watch movie. We have traveled with them. Organized retail, you are the masters. Probably it requires to be more organized when you go deeper and deeper, or it is not there at this stage. Long-term goal, whatever you do seems to be short-term. Today you do something, tomorrow something else happens. Technology changes you so fast. So there has to be, if you are putting in money, if you are putting in capex, there has to be some kind of long-term goal, which is also a challenge. We are all disappointed that next one is also a challenge always. Approvals and licensing. Most of the time it takes same time as the construction. If you take 5 years of construction, it takes 5 years for approvals and licensing. Skilled manpower. Finally you have a business, you have everything, but the efficiency of the business depends on the people who operate it. So you go deeper and deeper in the country, but where are those skilled manpower you are looking for? So a lot of challenges, good challenges we have now. Now we found a solution for this. Solution is not again something new, high technology or something. Going back to the roots, going back to smaller versions, we are going to deeper into the country. We thought the youth spread across the country is looking for entertainment. Surely, there's no doubt. No big research required to find out that. Youth requires entertainment, which is predominantly movies, of course. So they need movies, screens, they need good atmosphere. In fact, when we made our first 3-screen multiplex in a small town, it was not a CSR activity, it was our business. So we knew that this business can go into deeper places. We were a bit experienced in that. So youth requires entertainment. Youth requires food, not just the old food or the regular food, they require variety food. The food lovers, everybody is going out and eating now. I think one of the topic yesterday and today is eating out. It has been always there, but you go farther into the country, you find it is there even in small places. They are looking for an avenue to go out and eat, because it is not just eating, it is going out together and spending time together, which is required by not only people in Mumbai, but people in Jabu also, which is a very interior part of Madhya Pradesh. Retail, everybody wants to buy something. They are all watching something in the TV, but they want to buy it. This is a recreation, fun. When you go to a small town, typically you will find that they celebrate their good times, like birthday and all, on their terrace. The probably only place left out or a decent place is the terrace of the building or a yard behind their house. So why not a community center kind of thing where people can celebrate their time? These are essential things we find whenever we go anywhere, though nothing new in all this. So we thought, why not we create the so-called family entertainment zones, FEZ, which is also not a new technology. Only thing we are taking this to further deep into the country. Now what is wrong in taking this? We are good at multiplex, I can vouch for that, the entertainment. We also are good at food courts because we have a lot of food chains. You are good at retail, so you are with us. This is not a big challenge. So together, I'm sure this equation can be managed. But when we go deeper, we find that it has to be viable. You cannot sell Bajrangi Baijan at 500 rupees per ticket. The ticket price or the cost at which you are going to sell is the challenge when you go deeper. It's also not a surprise. So how do we reduce the ticket prices or cost of goods you sell when you go deeper? There's a solution by reducing your investment, reducing your capex. So if you can reduce your capex and go into smaller towns having these facilities, you have a sure business. Anybody can disagree. Okay, so family entertainment zones, Carnival has started putting up in various small towns and cities in the country. If we put up probably 2,000 such centers, we will achieve our vision 5,000. 5,000 screens in the country, it's mind-boggling. Even if a producer wants to make his movie flop, he cannot. Because there are so many avenues he can play this movie. That's going to be happening in 2020 according to our numbers and calculations. So this is the formula which we are taking across the country. What is family entertainment zone? Little more detail for various stakeholders involved in this probably. It's quality cinema halls, naturally. Organized retail. It's a big attempt to bring organized retail to smaller cities and towns. Hygienic eateries, also a challenge. You don't find any hygienic eateries when you travel on highways. Recreation facilities, it's a must. Rural employment. The youth is waiting for employment. When you go really deeper, the concept we feel is that it is all farming. Youth is looking for a change. They don't want to continue the farming business. They are looking for a change. So they are looking for employment. Fulfilling aspirations of rural consumers. Real estate has to develop. There are barren lands. There are acres of lands. I could see at least 10 people in one place having 300 acres of land, each of them having, where I have only 30 cents in all my whole possibilities. So there is a lot of land possessed by people. So real estate has to develop. Energy conservation is, of course, if you can put solar power into all these properties. Opportunity for investors in rural India. Investors are available. I'm sure some of them are here also. But how do we go and invest in rural India? Empowering rural India by this kind of small movement. This is family entertainment zone. But there are real beneficiaries in this. There are few real beneficiaries which I would like to share with you. Developers. I don't know how many developers are here. Sorry, I'm not a developer, so I may be sounding very simple or so. But I felt what developer is looking for, if he constructs a mall or a shopping complex, he wants tenants in that. He wants people to take the space. And for a long term. For a long term, you are looking for tenants in your place, if you have a shopping complex or a mall. But my formula says that before you construct, you have a place which is fully occupied for 20 years. Is it okay for you? This is my question to developers. I have an option for you which is fully occupied for 20 years before you construct. Retailers are looking how to get footfalls, or they wanted to get into happening space. So this family entertainment zone is definitely a happening space. People are going to watch movie till 2030. One of the subjects given to me was, what is entertainment in 2030? Same to same, watch movies. It's going to be in 2030 or 2020, whenever it is. We will never allow it to change. So retailers have got happening place in all these places. If there are investors, because it is fully booked for next 20 years, there is an assured return on investment. In my model, it says 5 years we have ROI. Landowners, there are plenty of landowners having land. There is an income potential for their barren land, because this property is going to be fitted onto their land. Patrons, the people are going to have entertainment and other facilities. Youth, of course, employment is one of the biggest thing we are going to give through this. Industry, I'm meaning movie industry, let's say cinema industry, is an exponential growth, doubling the number of income, doubling the number of screens. So we have to catch up with China soon. Real estate overall, because if you really see in a small town, if you put up even a small multiplex or 2 screens, you will find that the areas surrounding is going to grow because it's a happening place. So if you have a zone like this in a small area, real estate has to grow around the place. So the formula is done. I hope you agree with me in most of the terms, though I said I'm not an expert in the retail frontiers. But if you feel that it makes some value addition to you, any of you, we are happy to participate. We are happy to join hands with you to make this mission successful. Thanks to all of you for great listening. Thank you.